How are we now feeling, Eagles Nation? Welcome to the Eagles Checkdown, the fastest under 10-minute Eagles podcast there is. Cover news, notes, and opinions on your favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles. Jointly produced here by the Eagles Pinpoint Podcast Network and the STT Sports Network over on YouTube. Guys, like, share, subscribe. You know the drill. Hit all the buttons on your screen no matter what platform you are currently watching on. Make sure you hit those buttons. I'd appreciate it. And so would everybody else at the Eagles Pinpoint Podcast Network. I'm Phil Stiefel. And we got lots to get into since I recorded yesterday's episode. Some more Eagles have flown or left the nest. We've got more rumors, more things happening in free agency. So we're going to see how much we cover here today. Excuse me. First and foremost, post-recording yesterday's episode of the Eagles Checkdown, Nakobe Dean did leave the Eagles as expected, but not to the Dallas Cowboys, going to the Las Vegas Raiders for 3 years, $36 million, $20 guaranteed. Reports saying he was offered a similar, if not exact same contract from the Dallas Cowboys, and he chose Las Vegas, and I love that. Just makes him even cooler and better there. But that's that. We have lost Nakobe Dean, which really breaks my heart. He's one of my favorite Eagles of the last couple of years. Know the deal with John Campbell. I know the deal with Nakobe Dean's injuries. It still hurts as a fan, but I understand that. Reed Blankenship also flew the nest, going to the Houston Texans on a 3-year, just over $24 million deal, a little over 16 guaranteed. That is a deal I would have expected the Eagles to match, but we got to remember one thing. The Eagles kind of shy away from a lot of contracts in that 7 to 12, 8 to 15 per year range. They pay their top-end guys big money, and then they go, I hate the word bargain shopping, but cheaper, lower-end guys and cheap draft picks to fill out their roster. So no shock there. Eagles have a lot of work to do in the secondary, especially safety now, losing Reed Blankenship with right now only, Drew Makuba and Sidney Brown on the roster to start at safety. Obviously, they got Andre Sam and guys like that around, but safety is definitely a concern. Best of luck to him. He's a great success story. Undrafted free agent, $50K guaranteed on his first contract. Now cashing in with 16.5-ish, million guaranteed. Good for Reed Blankenship. It'll be a loss bigger in the locker room than on the field. Obviously, the Exciting Whites break up, but also he was one of the Eagles' defensive captains last year, so that is a massive loss. The next big thing, we lost Matt Pryor actually just moments ago. I don't have the dollars on it yet, but he is going to the Arizona Cardinals. 1-year deal, whatever. I'm actually glad of that deal getting done. The other big news from Tuesday is that Romeo Doubs, the Green Bay Packers wide receiver, signed a 4-year deal over $70 million to go to the New England Patriots. Why is that a big deal? Well, that's a big deal because the New England Patriots were looking for a number one receiver, a.k.a. A.J. Brown. Now, some reports say that does not take them out of the running for A.J. Brown. Some reports say it does. I like to stay down the middle and say we'll just see, because at this point we have no stinking clue what's going to happen with A.J. Brown. I still stand by it that if A.J. Brown gets traded, it won't be till post-June 1st. It's not going to happen in the next 24 to 36 hours. I could be wrong. I've been proven wrong a lot lately, but that's just that. But interesting enough, Omar Cooper, you get 30, visits pre-draft, right? And Indiana University wide receiver Omar Cooper Jr. was just hosted by the Eagles for a meeting and a workout. He is a guy that is going to go in the first round of the draft. The Eagles have the 23rd pick in the draft. Are the Eagles looking at a first-round wide receiver this year? It's very possible. Howie has drafted wide receivers plenty of times in the first round. So I thought that was a little interesting nugget that came out just before the Romeo Doubs news. And now you get this. We'll see how that plays out. But it's very interesting. Obviously, as of recording this at 5:40 on Tuesday night, there still is no movement on the Dallas Goedert front. A lot of speculation, a lot of rumors. But there's not much time left as of recording this for the Eagles to get an extension done before the league year. That contract gets voided, and we take that $20.5 million dead cap hit no matter what. So if they don't get it done, Dallas Goedert is pretty much as good as gone. But if they do get it done in the next few minutes or next few hours, we will talk about that on tomorrow's episode. It would still be a huge loss to lose Dallas Goedert, but I get it. One final little piece of news that I want to cover for sure, and that is that Trey Hendrickson, he's available. He's a free agent. We obviously lost Jalen Phillips. Trey Hendrickson is a game-changing edge rusher, defensive end in the NFL. Again, he is available. Again, the Eagles are linked to him. Last offseason, I spent the whole offseason talking about trading for Trey Hendrickson and how much he would have helped the Eagles defense. And obviously we needed him. That's why we traded for Jalen Phillips. I know Trey Hendrickson's a little bit older. I know he has a big price tag. I doubt the Eagles would go out and give him the kind of money they just chose not to give Jalen Phillips, who's 3-4 years younger. Let me tell you something. If you can find a way to swing Trey Hendrickson on a 1-year, 2-year deal with a lot of 100 void years added on to the end of it to kind of, alleviate that, maybe it's possible. I'd be excited for it. I'd be hopeful for it. It would be very interesting to see that done. One other piece of information. We obviously talked about Kenneth Walker going to the Chiefs yesterday. Other Chiefs running back Isaiah Pacheco went to the Detroit Lions on Tuesday. It was very interesting to see the Lions not just go all in on just Jeremy Gibbs, but go out and get another violent runner like Pacheco. I don't think I say his name right, but I don't care. I say it that way anyway. So he's going to be joining Gibbs in the backfield in Detroit. Finally, a good move for Detroit there this offseason in the very early parts. I just got to say this. I said that this would happen, and it's happening. There are people calling out Howie Roseman. Howie Roseman's catching strays on Trending in the AM. He's a terrible GM. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's lost his touch. Somebody told me the game has passed him by. Guys, it's the 10th, 11th of March right now, depending on when you're listening or hearing this. Relax. Howie does his best work late in March, in April, in August, all over the year. Relax, okay? Howie will get this team built. Howie will have this team contending for another title in 2026, with or without A.J. Brown, with or without Trey Hendrickson, whatever it may be. So, with that being said, we'll be back tomorrow with another Eagles Checkdown. Everybody have a great day. Go Birds, and bubbles up.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
On December 12th, Disney Plus invites you to go behind the scenes with Taylor Swift in an exclusive 6-episode docuseries.
I wanted to give something to the fans that they didn't expect.
The only thing left is to close the book.
The end of an era. And don't miss Taylor Swift, The Eras Tour, the final show, featuring for the first time the Tortured Poets Department. Streaming December 12th, only on Disney Plus.